Okay. Let's see. Okay, hopefully this should work. Oh, all right. Great. That's still okay. Watch this.
Damn, girl. Did it hurt when you fell from the peak of the Gaussian distribution curve of desirable female traits? Your symmetrical
What the fuck? Right. Hang on. Let me have a look. Yeah, first off, I think the title is kind of dishonest. You can't, like, debunk an entire field of science just by showing the worst aspects of it or interpretations of it. So, there's that for a start. Man, I wish I could have my little camera in. I could see. Anyway.
Tell me there's a good statistical chance you don't have a tapeworm.
Okay.
When you walked into the room, I could tell you were ovulating by your gait. At this time of the month, man.
Okay, carry on. Yeah, like I said, you can't just debunk an entire field of evolutionary psychology just by showing the worst aspects of it. Or, like, you know, this is just how science goes. Sometimes things turn out to be incorrect. It doesn't make the entire field, like, void. So,
My scent receptors are enhanced. I can smell your genetic profile.
this is the problem I was taking when I started watching. Now, I haven't watched the full video yet, that's why I'm watching it now. It's just, there's a lot of appeals to emotion here, isn't there? She's taking what's been said and then using it to try and appeal to, oh, this sounds cringe. Yeah, it does sound cringe because no one talks like that. Not even the people making these studies move.
It's compatible with mine. And your waist-to-hip ratio is within the range of 0.7 for childbearing, so I know your offspring will likely reach full term, but...
No! Stop it! Moon, stop it! That is not a single evolutionary... Not a single scientist has ever talked like that, Moon, and you know that. Stop being dishonest. Yeah, there are studies that show that women with a certain waist to hip ratio are more desirable to men. Yeah, they're not like, and that's a general statement. They're not like telling you what you can and can't find attractive. They're just doing studies. This is... Again, this is what she's doing. She's just poisoning the well by saying, oh, look at the way I'm acting. Look at my straw man impression of these people. Isn't that cringe? Yeah, it's cringe because you're doing an uncharitable interpretation of it, Moon. This is not. This is just poisoning the well. This is all an appeal to emotions.
If we were to do the deed tonight, what is the statistical probability
Nobody speaks like that.
that the resulting child would be mine? Using baby.
Oh, fuck.
Theorem. Sorry, I'm not naturally gifted in STEM. Well,
You don't have to be. You're not. People don't go around actively thinking these things. It's all. That's the entire point of evolutionary psychology. It's all subconscious.
that's okay. I have very large balls, which means I have a force powerful enough to douche your room into oblivion.
Not gonna lie, that sounds pretty hot. But side note. Can't.
Also, I can use my tongue beforehand to see if I can taste the
Nobody speaks like this.
genes of a rival mate. How would you know what that tastes like? Don't you worry about that.
It's all theoretical. You haven't debunked the entire field just because you made a YouTube video trying to make it sound as silly as possible.
This all sounds like BS, but I have an agreeable nature.
God. Are you really doing this, Moon? Are you really trying to do this? Just... Nobody talks like this.
So, I'm not along. What tax bracket are you in? Basic rate. You see, feminism
Oh, fuck off.
forced me to graduate with a master's and now I earn more than you, so, I'm gonna go find a mate now with dark triad traits.
Oh my god. Oh.
My problems away, but, if you're free to cuckold a child later... God
What the fuck?
damn it, I am so nostalgic for the Pleistocene! Those are
What? Wait, those are all real theories of human sexual selection. No! No, it is not. You just strawmanned it. You took the studies and you tried to make them sound as cringe as possible. You're not actually debunking anything. You're just presenting it, strawmanning it, and then saying, oh, isn't that cringe? That's not science. You're not debunking anything. You're just strawmanning it, making it sound cringe, and then saying, hey, doesn't that sound cringe? Therefore, it's false, right? Jesus Christ. So annoying.
all real theories of human sexual selection from evolutionary psychology. Welcome to the Munecat channel, where you follow me down whatever internet rabbit hole I've been falling down recently, and we slowly go insane together.
Let me
My
just...
research
Yeah, I'm
process-
gonna go insane from watching this. Let me have a look. Just make sure the sound's okay.
This video went a little bit like this. This paper is goofy. By implying there's a natural...
Hang on, I'll turn the sound up a bit. Oh, it's already on. Right, there you go. This paper is... Yeah, it sounds goofy when you try to strawman it, Moon. I know her real name's Georgia, but...
this. This paper is goofy. By implying there's a natural order to humanity, it serves as a purpose to retain the status quo, benefiting only those who already benefit from it. Evolution.
Yeah, but then you have to ask how it even got like that in the first place.
Neuropsychology is kind of stuck in the essentialist scientific era, but the more we learn about ourselves, the more we realise we...
Oh no, are you really gonna argue this? Are you really gonna argue this? If there was no essence to human nature, Moon, we'd all be dead. There would be no desire for people to eat, procreate, all that stuff. Why do you think that, for example, baby turtles, for instance, they hatch and they immediately head for the sea? Why? Nobody taught them that. It's in their genes.
don't have an essence. Perhaps humankind has actually evolved as a programmatic model and that every person is a synapse within the social tapestry, just contributing threads of knowledge like droplets in an entropic ocean of reasoning.
Get away from me.
Which will evaporate into the cosmos, and only then will we reach the singularity. So,
Now, just to know, I can't react to this entire video, otherwise I'll obviously get a copyright strike. I'll skim a few bits. Censor.
do you want to join me on this journey? Ooh, nice. Good pour. Good. Good pour on that one.
Since the caveman days, hundreds of thousands of years ago, very
No, please, Moon, please tell me you are not going to use the fucking manosphere to represent these studies. Please tell me that is not where you are getting this from. Moon, listen up. You can't just debunk an entire field of science just because some people you don't like hold opinions you don't like and used said studies to make points that are either not true or they use it to justify some ridiculous ideology. That's not science. Christ.
difficult for women to overcome hypergamous state.
Oh, please. What is this? What is this? You... Just gonna skip over.
You are biomodulated.
Oh, fuck off. Moon, you're not going to debunk evolutionary psychology by dancing in front of a bunch of pictures of people in the manosphere. Fuck my life.
We all know a guy who has spent a lot of time online and seems to have biological, scientific backing for all their opinions, all of which happen to be centered around Eurocentric beauty standards.
But it's not! It's not! That's the thing, it's not Eurocentric, because there are studies that have accounted for other nations and other cultures. No! It's not Eurocentric. Oh my god. It's been done across age groups as well. God. So freaking dishonest.
Standards, 1950s gender roles, and the economic status quo. And then as soon as you try and challenge them or criticize them, all of a sudden you're in your feelings.
Yes! You are! Yes! Yes!
Things you're virtue signaling, you're trying to be politically correct, but they're just looking at the facts, bro.
I mean, they're looking at the facts more than you are right now. You're doing exactly what you're accusing them of doing.
People seeing culture moving away from a supposed ideal will use varied mechanisms to.
Again, why are you using the manosphere to represent the science? These people are not representatives of the science, Moon.
Stop that change. First, they might use the law to restrict the freedom of people moving away from this sort of norm, but once this technique has been vanquished by the progressives, conservatives may turn to more.
Oh my god. This is not a conservative thing. This is not a conservative thing. Again, you're doing exactly what you accuse them of doing, where
psychological manipulation, basically gaslighting the public into believing things have always been this way for a reason.
I mean, are they completely wrong?
And the final result of this psychological manipulation is the misleading use of science.
That's what you're doing right now.
Evolutionary psychology is the perfect tool for this. Social hierarchies exist, but it's okay because
You're literally doing all of this in the opposite direction, where you're saying there is no essence. Yeah, I agree that, like, humans are a mix of nature and nurture. I don't disagree with that. But that's it. But most conservatives you're arguing against believe this as well. I'm not a conservative. I'm an atheist. I'm a socialist. And I'm socially liberal. I don't give a fuck if someone is gay or trans or whatever.
your rung on the societal ladder was determined by your genes. There's nothing you can.
They're not even necessarily saying that. It could also be factors like, you know, neurology coming from, for example, in the womb. That's the theory of how trans people and gay people develop. Might as well be arguing for conversion therapy by your own logic.
Do about it, so accept it. Science itself is in a crisis. It's being mistaken for logic and reason, and academics are in a pit of misleading studies on
It's not. Why are you using Vox to represent science?
replicated studies, publication bias, manipulated data, and out.
Yeah, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. It's just you can't focus on the minority just to say, like, oh, it's all debunked then. Again, this is such a misleading title. You can't debunk an entire field of science just by pointing at the worst examples. Let alone you're using these influencers who obviously have an agenda to represent the science. You really think they give a shit about the science? No. They are just interpreting it in a way that they think suits them, which is not even usually the correct interpretation of what these scientists meant. I'm not denying that there's corruption, and I'm not saying that science is perfect. Of course it isn't. I just think you're going about this in really the wrong way, Moon.
Outright fraud carried out by their own peers, and they're scrambling around trying to figure out how to fix it. And meanwhile, it's being communicated to a public who don't know how to engage with it critically. And
True. True. I also think that I still think though that you're going about this in the wrong way, because you're doing the exact same thing in the opposite direction.
this mess is being taken advantage of. Political
True.
pundits will use.
Yeah, but they're not the experts. They're not even representing the science correctly. You know these people are politically motivated. You're politically motivated. You know this, so I don't understand what makes people think that they should trust you then. That you're somehow going to be better. Yeah, I don't like Ben Shapiro. I think he's a fucking prick. Most gender... They're not the experts. That's not science. You're using these people to represent the science.
Small convenient sections
Fish. Okay. See what that has to do with anything, or how that debunks anything.
of it as a weapon of truth.
Yeah, the news isn't always completely honest, but like...
And others will use sections of it as a misleading marketing tactic to sell supplements and books.
Alex Jones. I agree with that one.
It has never been so lucrative to be a science-backed nutrient.
Yeah, I don't agree with this idea that that it's like you can just, you know, these quick fixes. Yeah, no, those aren't scientific. Those these are just influencers trying to sell you things. But then I don't understand why she uses these influencers to represent science.
Nutritionist or neuroscientist.
Influencers, yeah, that's just influencers. That's what you're doing right now. Okay, but that's people just trying to make a living, and I don't agree with the way that they're doing it. Yeah, these things are bullshit. I will agree with that one. Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. That's bullshit.
Influencer. Evolutionary psychology is just one of the tools that these people will use to convince you to fall.
This isn't real evolutionary psychology. This isn't real evolutionary psychology. They're just representing the science for their own benefit. And like I said, even if it is based on the actual scientific studies themselves, you can't debunk all of evolutionary psychology with those studies. Ridiculous. Moon, you are doing what... You're just doing what, you know, flat earthers used to do. It's like, oh, well, you can't explain this. You got this tiny thing wrong. Oh, it's all debunked now, is it?
You because it sounds plausible.
That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. That's what you were literally doing at the beginning of the video. You were misrepresenting people, making them sound silly, and it's like, oh, it's funny. It's ha-ha. Therefore, done and dusted.
Why not use Evo Psychologic to train people in everyday public speaking skills?
I mean, Yeah? That's... Yeah, that can be a useful thing to learn.
And when we can't see someone's hands, something interesting happens. You should start to feel just a little bit uncomfortable.
It depends on the scenario, because if she hadn't shown her hands before, people would have been wondering, oh, what's in her hands? And I think she might have gone about this the wrong way, but we already know what's in her hands, so you're not really debunking anything here, Moon.
And the reason for that is because when you can't see my hands, you wonder, what is she doing back there? Because we were approached by a stranger caveman. The first place we looked was the hands to see if they were carrying a rock or a spear.
I mean, yeah. I mean, putting funny music over this isn't gonna make her point any less valid.
In other words,
Again, this you're just doing exactly what you're accusing them of doing. You're saying like, oh, it sounds, instead of saying like, oh, it sounds plausible, you're saying, oh, it sounds funny. You're literally doing exactly what they're doing in the opposite direction.
I wanted to know if we were safe, if they were friend or foe.
I mean, yeah.
Now this actually still remains from caveman days.
Oh, right, because
Oh,
without
fuck
that little
off.
story about cavemen, I never would have realised that it was weird to do public speaking with your hands behind your...
Oh. Yes! And why is it weird? It's weird because of evolutionary psychology. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is such brain rot.
back. That's what I've been doing wrong the entire time.
Jesus Christ.
Wow, thanks, cavemen.
Oh my god. What is she doing here? Are you okay? It's Christ.
The entire time. Wow, thanks, cavemen.
Haha, see, it's funny, so my brain do a happy, therefore, haha, take that, evolutionary psychologist.
Now this is actually a good thing. As humans, this keeps us safe. Dr. Paul Ekman has studied...
Yeah, evolutionarily, yes. Yes, that is a good point.
Oh no, he's haunting me.
Please stop. Please stop.
No, why not use
Moon, you're not gonna debunk evolutionary psychology with comedy.
evolutionary psychology to train your dog?
Caveman back in the caveman.
Oh, bless his heart.
Cavemen were hanging out, working about the
Oh.
No, they would just get their dogs down and they'd start to grab them and wrestle them and pretend that they were fighting bears. And
Yeah, and why do you think that dogs like play fighting? It's because it's how animals in the wild to this day, like, it's how animals in the wild to this day, you know, learn to fight by play fighting. That's why humans like to play fight as well. You're not, again, you can't debunk this by trying to make it sound ridiculous, because a lot of it has a lot of grounding.
Come on. If you got decapitated by a rival tribe, you know your dog would have been first in the queue to hump your severed head.
Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Does she hate dogs?
You can use evolutionary psychology to scam people into buying your course on how to...
Yeah, no, but it's not actual evolutionary psychology that they're using. Again, you're misrepresenting it and then saying, oh, that's actual evolutionary psychology. No, it isn't. So dishonest. I just got a text. The dishonesty is unreal.
be an alpha male.
Oh, fuck up. Don't bring up the alpha male stuff. No, that's not real. The alpha male stuff isn't real. We can agree on that. But, again, this is not real evolutionary psychology. Again, you're still misrepresenting it.
Have access to the sub-knowledge of your mind.
Okay, we can skip over this because I really don't agree with the alpha male stuff. Oh, fuck off.
Or if you've ever cursed your irises with naked attraction.
Okay, I don't
A
even know
British
if this
dating show in which
can be allowed.
participants do dating, but backwards.
Yeah, I don't like any of this either, so we can skip over this.
Their personality.
Yeah. Look, we can skip over this because I already don't like shallow people. I tend to factor in people's personality, but again, this is still misrepresenting it. This is regular people who don't understand evolutionary psychology, and she's using them to debunk evolutionary psychology, which is so dishonest.
Rounds are interspersed with what the latest studies have told us about what humans find attractive, because we can't make up our own minds.
No. Yep. But what do you think people make their minds up with? Where do you think that comes from? Evolution.
No, science will tell us what we like.
Oh, fuck off! Stop it. Science does not tell you what you should do. Science only gives predictions on how things will turn out. Yeah, again, you're still using these people to misrepresent it. Okay, I'm gonna skip this.
Looking to mix genes with a guy that you met on a dating show because he wanted to see your genitals before
Okay.
a child who joined Mensa.
Anthropologist Helen Fisher studies how our bodies and brains have evolved so that boy meets girl.
Yeah.
They find that men react differently to women. Men are turned on visually. For women, the ideal mate is more than just a source of fertile sperm.
Oh, really?
Oh, for Christ's sake. What? Why are you being so, like, facetious about this? You're just, like, having a go at them. I'm sorry, but yeah, Moon. They have to explain this to the average person. I don't know why you're having a go at them for just making an introduction.
Well, what if all I want is a source of fertile
Oh,
sperm
fuck
within
off.
her ape era?
She seeks the more intangible characteristics,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
such as reliability, loyalty, kindness.
I think most people want that, but I think women tend to want it more.
That suggests a good husband and a good father for her children.
I'm not looking for a
Oh, for fuck's sake.
father. I'm looking for daddy.
Ugh.
You called?
Oh, fuck.
Shut up.
She didn't leave it to her. Remember what he did last Valentine's Day, what he promised last Christmas, what he didn't do last
Okay, I'm gonna...
what he did and didn't do.
Yeah, he just tried talking.
Yeah, this is a straw man.
In order to determine if they will be a suitable mate and
Yeah, this is a straw
I
man.
also the cat.
What the fuck? I'm gonna skip to the next part. This is...
growth of particular masculine features.
Yeah, I could probably be making a face like that as well if puberty was causing me to be haunted by my own gigantic.
Yeah, but again, this is the thing. I'm not denying this video is funny. It's just you can't. Again, it's just the title I have an issue with. You can't debunk the entire. You can't debunk all of evolutionary psychology just with this.
Most cursed corner of the internet, YouTube. Evo-psych is most commonly used in the context of giving dating advice.
Yeah, and what's wrong with that? Like, just because Just because the manosphere gives like shitty advice doesn't debunk all of it.
Most of the time to men. It can be used to explain why you like big butts so
Yeah, that's fair.
much. It's because you're thinking about your potentially
No, no, no. And this is exactly where I have a problem.
sexy daughters.
Studies show that women with lower
No,
ratios
please
are
stop.
more likely to bear daughters who would
No, again, you're misrepresenting it. No, please stop. We already talked about this. Yeah, I get that she's trying to be funny. It's just you can't again. Okay.
'60s and the '20s. Somebody should also tell the era of attending.
Yeah, I know that culture influences a bit, but you can go to like most places in the world and the same will apply. Right, so dishonest.
To depict fertility,
Okay,
the
we've
art
already
type they're
seen
making
this one.
actually doesn't conform to 20.
Yeah, that's because it's not. Yeah, that's not because this is intended to be attractive. This is just talk. They call it a fertility statue because it's supposed to be a pregnant woman. What?
21st century beauty standards, asses,
Christ.
stitches clocking it. All
Oh my
facts
god, please stop.
and logic.
One for it to not be that.
No, fuck the Fresh and Fit fuck podcast. Fuck them. Fuck these guys.
Friends, and always have multiple chances to cheat on them.
It's like for survival.
No, I don't agree with the cheating part. No.
The other way round, and you're go.
Again, she's pointing these people out and then using them as representative of actual evolutionary psychology. The stream's still going. Okay, it's going. It's going.
Girlfriend cheated on you.
I think we can skip this part. I think we can skip this part. Again, you can't use the manosphere to debunk evolutionary psychology or to prove it. These people are straw manning it. They're not being dishonest. Again, this is the problem I have. You can't debunk all of it with the manosphere. These people don't understand evolutionary psychology. Oh, wait. Hang on. Oh, I thought we were further forward. Right.
Well, let's rewind the clock a bit and figure out where this all started. 164 years ago, the Father Christmas of evolution, Charlie Darwin, produced his seminal work. I always think that sounds a little bit like a euphemism for jizzing. On the
Okay, that's funny.
origin of species. It cast a new light on the way we view humankind, not as this divine creation summoned into existence by some intangible mystery.
Yeah, but this is another problem I have with people who are against evolutionary psychology. They find the idea of they agree with the idea of evolution, but they're against the idea of evolutionary psychology, which I think is incredibly convenient. I mean, where do you think our brains came from? They didn't appear out of thin air.
Deity, but as a product of millions and millions of years of random genetic mutations naturally selected to develop beings suited, like perhaps imperfectly, but in a
Yeah, imperfectly. There we go. Excuse me. Yeah, imperfectly. Yeah, people aren't rational when making sexual choices. They're just doing what their evolution has told them to do, even if that's not necessarily going to result in them passing on their genes. It's not, you can't, again, you can't debunk it by talking about the manosphere and being like, oh, these people are representative of it, because they're not.
Sort of equilibrium to their environments. It wasn't this bearded white guy from the Bible saying, make the most perfect animal that ever existed.
Okay.
See rodents inside.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
Throwing
I get it.
green spaghetti at the wall and seeing what would stick.
Yeah. Oh. I'm so gonna get a copyright strike or something.
For a lot of people, especially the ones who really liked the God dude, they really
Hang on. Probably need to.
wanted to believe for
Jesus
some
Christ, I look like a zombie. I look like a fire zombie or something. Like, that should be. I feel uncomfortable.
reason that the God dude that they pray to every night was the same guy
Okay,
who thought
cool.
belief
Okay,
in
okay.
deity
Okay. Yeah, but you.
sort of returned, but not in the form of a god, but rather an almost
Okay.
godlike perspective,
What?
but not in the form of apologists in a way. The belief in a deity has sort of returned, but not in the form of a god, but rather an almost godlike perspective of Darwin.
Okay, I sort of agree with
which
that,
I-
but these people are not representative of evolutionary psychology. You can't debunk the entire field from that.
in part blame Richard Dawkins for.
That thing in her mind saying it is product. Her
No, stop it. Don't bring Richard Dawkins.
genes to pass themselves along.
It's a weird sort of one step up from creationism, this belief that our brains developed alongside the rest of our bodies in this sort of perfect utilitarian manner, which
No. It's not a perfect utilitarian manner. I don't even think most of the people you're saying you're talking about are arguing this. Again, this is something I sometimes have an issue with. People take an extreme example and they use that to represent all of these other influencers or scientists or whatever, what have you.
allows us to
Poisoning the well.
genes to the next generation in the most efficient way imaginable. Like we're all driverless meat bags programmed by our gonads, and there's this little guy in there at the controls dictating our every move.
I mean, yeah. No, not your every move, but a large portion of it.
Like, don't do that.
Again, oh my god, again, you're not representing the science properly. No, stop it. Again, she's just trying to make it sound silly without actually arguing with it. She's not arguing with actual science, she's arguing with a funny sounding version of it.
Hit ratio is 3%.
Okay. Yeah, no, stop it.
Efficiency. Evolutionary psychology bases its assumptions on the theory that our base traits were established in what is called the EEA. Yes, the European.
No, I don't. What does that have to do?
Economic area. I am joking, you idiots! The EEA in this context is the environment of evolutionary adaptedness. The Pleistocene savanna
She was joking.
context is the environment of evolutionary adaptedness. The Pleistocene savanna, which conveniently happened too long ago for any of us to really know what went on. No,
Okay. So that you're literally that you could literally use that argument against the Big Bang. You're arguing. Oh my god. This is such a bad take. By saying it was too long ago for us to know what really happened. Oh, okay. So Big Bang Theory debunked then, yeah? Dinosaurs debunked, yeah? Moon. We can theorize that these things happened because of the evidence that we have. And you're just saying, no, that evidence doesn't exist. Don't look over here. Don't look over here. Don't look. No. Jesus Christ. So dishonest.
No one was on their phones, everyone was living in the moment. So we
Okay.
had to project current gender norms on them.
Oh, fuck off.
So all the countries in the world were in one big blob, and all the dinosaurs lived together.
Again. Oh my God. Yeah, but it's so funny that you mentioned dinosaurs because by you saying this, you are literally you could literally be arguing against evolution because you're saying that it was too long ago for us to know what really happened. It's such a bad take.
Together on it in perfect harmony until one day the Faragosaurus Rex
Fuck Farage.
came along with a pint and started the
Okay, we can skip
where
over
humans
this.
first appeared a few million years ago. Once they started living in caves and drew this AI-generated lion orgy on the wall, they all
She's not taking any of this
had a
seriously.
meeting and agreed that they'd peaked and they should stop evolving there and then so that future evil.
That is not what evolutionary psychologists argue, Moon. That is a straw man. Evolutionary psychologists are not arguing that evolution suddenly stopped. It's just that for the vast majority of human history, yes, we did. The vast majority of human history came... Sorry, it would technically be prehistory. But it came before we started writing and building houses. That was the vast majority of human history. So what evolutionary psychologists are arguing is you can't just snap your fingers overnight and get rid of it all. Yeah, like we've only had what we call human civilization for a few thousand years. Such a straw man.
Evolutionary psychologists could call this the environment.
Oh my God. This is a straw man.
The evolutionary psychologists formulate tend to reveal more about the person doing the hypothesizing than about actual humanity. Most evolutionary
Are you really going to do an ad hominem?
psychologists hide behind their Google Scholar pages, racking up citations in a perpetual circle jerk with other.
Evolutionary hypothesis tested in 37 cultures. But you said it was Eurocentric. You said it was Eurocentric. You're just ignoring that now. You've seen this. You've seen that. And you're just ignoring that? This is so dishonest. Holy shit. This video is so fucking dishonest. Holy fuck. My God. So you've seen this, Moon. You saw that. You saw that study at the top. Did you read it? Oh my God. You saw that, and you're like, oh, it's all Eurocentric. So dishonest.
Other evolutionary psychologists, but some professors just love the spotlight.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
Jeffrey Miller, he'll appear in your documentary leaning up against his F-150, exhibiting his accumulated resources for the ladies. Jeffrey
Okay.
is a relatively meek, soft-spoken man in interviews,
Okay.
which is not what you expect when you're
Okay.
first exposed.
Yeah, I don't like crypto either, but hey ho, if he He's successful. Good for him.
To his viewpoints is via his Twitter feed, on which he goes by the name @PrimalPolly.
Okay. Probably just thought it was funny. Don't know what the fuss is about.
Conjures up images of a Neanderthal.
Oh, fuck off. Such a straw man.
Surrounded by ovulating.
Please stop. Again, this is all a straw man. This is all ad hominem. This is all appeals to emotion. You are literally doing what the people you dislike accused you of doing. You are literally doing exactly that. This is so dishonest.
Gay women lining up for a
Okay, I can
It's a
skip
very
this.
powerful evolutionary process, but it's not blind, dumb natural selection. It's
Yeah,
driven
he's correct about that.
by our tastes, our pleasure.
Hundreds of thousands.
It's driven by a powerful evolutionary process.
Take material.
Okay, yeah,
The thing
cool.
about sexual selection is it's a very powerful evolutionary process, but it's not blind, dumb natural selection. It's driven by our tastes, our pleasure.
Hundreds of thousands of years ago,
Yes, that's true.
started selecting partners who were more intelligent. As a result,
That's yes. Yes, that's true. And part of the reason they were able to do that was because the dumb ones would die.
intelligence began to grow in our species.
Okay.
He spends what seems to be most of his waking hours on Twitter.com just pissing out the hottest take.
Okay, yeah, but again, this guy, the things this guy is pointing out there, that's not controversial. That's like,
He thinks that contraception.
yeah, but that's not him doing the science. That's just him doing his personal opinion.
Is the root of all evil.
Yeah, but that's his personal opinion. He's allowed to have a personal opinion, Moon. Okay.
Everyone trying to eradicate ableism, eugenics, and racism
Okay.
from science is a woke ideal.
Okay, that's his personal opinion. That's got nothing to do with the
And
science.
he thinks there should be a unity.
Again, all of this is ad hominem. She's not actually arguing. Again, she's not actually arguing with the science. She's just taking pot shots at the people themselves.
Channel that
Christ.
teaches moms.
Can
No,
skip
but
this.
actually, so already.
Again,
Jeffrey seems
she's just ad hom.
to think he's the originator of the manosphere since
Okay,
he hated women before pillars.
Okay,
out
cool.
in
We can skip this.
See,
We can skip this. This is all ad hominem.
Frank of the girls because
What's that?
wore them in her section on their wedding an adaptation for
Yeah, they probably, yeah. The reason people tend to think things like that are pretty is because it reminds them of water. Because water is something that is essential for our survival. That's why people like shiny things. Because A, the sun, B, water. Both essential.
Jeffrey's wife,
I don't know.
Diana
I don't know about the sun part actually, but I know the water part.
Fleischman, the incel's wet dream.
Oh. Yeah, everyone who believes in evolutionary psychology is an incel. Yeah, sure. That's a very bravo. Evolutionary psychology debunked.
Incredibly emotionally transparent, and my facial expression is very transparent. And
Okay.
it doesn't bother me to say exactly what I want. I think many women don't want to say exactly what they want because part of the Q investment that they're looking for is for somebody to use enough cognitive cycles to guess what they want.
She believes
Yeah, fair enough. That's a fair take. Nothing she said there was like pseudoscience. That's mainstream stuff. That's
Jeffrey is a high status male and feels that it would be
Okay.
selfish of her to keep him to herself. So she decides
okay, but that's okay, but that's her personal opinion.
To let other women
Again, all of this is ad hominem.
enjoy his high status fruit.
We can skip this. We can skip this.
Female.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I won't disagree that some people use it to justify their own personal takes. That's not science. And again, you can't use these people to... Again, this is ad hominem. He's taking pot shots at the people rather than the actual science.
Innate propensity to view Geoffrey Miller as high value mate, but each to their own. Someone else.
Evolutionary psychology does not say you personally have to view him as high value or whatever. Evolutionary psychology does not say that you can't have your own personal preferences. It's got nothing to do with it. It's just trying to explain certain phenomenon that we see. It's not telling you how to live your life. It's not telling you what opinion you can or can't have. Again, this is so fucking dishonest.
Can have my slice of the
Oh my god.
Temporary fix because
yeah, we can skip this part.
We have that pool.
Okay. Yeah, everyone who disagrees with you is an incel. We get it.
I saw you from
Yeah, we get it. Everyone who disagrees with you is an incel. Yeah.
Cosmides.
Very original point. Very original. This about Jordan Peterson?
Toomey passed away last year, passing on the baton to Dr. David Buss about what he contends are the ingrained differences between the male and female mind, offering...
Yeah, and some of this is true. You can't debunk all of it just by taking pot shots at the people themselves. Or trying to make what they say sound ridiculous.
Our broadcast circle.
Okay. Yeah, look, but don't get me wrong, these people do have an agenda, but you can't dismiss like everything they say just because they have an agenda. Again, I agree with things you say. I'm aware you have an agenda, but I'm not gonna reflexively disagree with everything you say just because I know you have an agenda.
The mate switching hypothesis. The mate switching hypothesis.
Okay, yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Doesn't particularly interest me, but bro, he's talking about monkey. Is this really the level we're engaging on? Just, oh, it sounds ridiculous. Therefore, what? Just because it sounds ridiculous to you, Moon, it doesn't make it incorrect. Again, this isn't any actual argument.
So, sometimes, yeah, race differences. Thankfully, this side of evolutionary psychology remains leave its claims to the fringes of political discourse nowadays. The ones who
yeah, because people can't properly represent it. Because people always use it for their own agendas, and now that's given it a bad name.
Still believe its claims are, at most, not openly discussing this in public. And
again, it's not... Evolutionary psychology doesn't... Science, in general, doesn't tell you what to do. It just tells you... it just tries to explain certain phenomenon. And yes, sometimes it doesn't get it right. Okay, then we re-theorize. And we come up with new theories. That's just what science has always done.
I'd like it to stay that way, so I'm going to be focusing mostly...
Oh, you personally would like it to stay that way. Oh, because of your personal opinion, right? Yeah, because it appeals to my fifis. You're literally doing what those people accused you of.
On sexual selection theories and gender differences in psychology.
Again, she says like she says like, but they say I'm just using my fifis. You literally are. You literally are just using the appeal to emotion throughout this entire video.
As that's in the mainstream, but the way that I touch on theories and gender differences stay that way, so I'm going to be focusing mostly on sexual selection theories and gender differences in psychology, as that's in the mainstream, but the way that
and it's in the mainstream because it works.
I tie this all up in the end is pretty much going to be blowing it all out of the water.
Oh my god. This is why I fell out with left tube. This is why I fell out with the left. I'm a socialist. But this is why I fell out with a load of these people. Oh, fuck.
Cave woman brain, ravenous for confirmation.
You know, can I just know something, right? I find it so funny how the way she's dancing and, like, moving her hips and all that. That is so funny that she's like, it's all just nurture. It's like, bitch, you're a female. You're doing this because you know it makes you look attractive. Why? It's just no self-awareness, I swear to God.
My lizard, cave woman brain, ravenous for confirmation bias.
Yeah. This is the problem I have with people who are against evolutionary psychology, right? They all want to believe we're all just, like, basically blank slates. And yet they don't even recognise their own behaviour. Now, I will say, I'm not religious. I believe free will is an illusion. And that's exactly partly what evolutionary psychology is getting into. Yeah, you might feel like you have the ability to make choices, but those choices are largely already made by your evolution. To some degree.
So I started to delve into some articles in defense of evolutionary psychology.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got a whiteboard for
Oh, great, good for you.
video. I have a lot of things to teach.
Stop pointing at Henry.
A lot of the time for good reason. You might assume that Evo Psychs would say everything is on this end of the spectrum. Everything is nature. But they do admit that the environment and culture has heavy impact.
Then why were you representing? Okay, but then it's not debunked.
On the way that agree that there's probably certain mechanisms in the brain.
Then this is clickbait. This is the problem I have. This entire video is clickbait. Ridiculous. I can't believe this. Right. Thanks everyone for watching, and like and subscribe. See you all in next video.